Why do some people love the idea of a crazy, all-consuming type of love? Why are they drawn to characters who are intense, who do not take no for an answer, who have broad backs and chiseled jawlines and literal bricks laid out on their abs, and who look like they will wreck you physically and emotionally, but you will just sit there and take it all like a good girl that you are? Well, let me tell you why. Some people, by some people I mean me, like those type of fictional characters because they allow us to explore scenarios which we wouldn't necessarily want to experience in real life, but they fulfill a type of romantic fantasy without having to go through it ourselves. These intense characters make the drama more exciting and fun to watch without having to worry about the moral implications of it in real life. They basically provide an escape from reality. And so, let's see which 9 characters according to me are crazy, obsessed, psychos, but I still love them. Find someone who will kidnap you, tie you up, and then confess to you in the most violent and threatening way possible. Guhe was heartbroken that Lewin doesn't want anything to do with him after finding out that they were stepbrothers. Lewin hated him for being the son of a man his mother decided to marry. He thought that Guhe approached him with ulterior motives, but Guhe had already fallen for him by then. He couldn't imagine a life without him, a life where he didn't get to ride to school every day with Lewin, where he didn't get to sleep on the same bed with him. He didn't get to eat Auntie Sheehan's noodles together. He didn't want to live such a life, and so the only way he could have him back was to kidnap him, shackle him, and keep him in front of his eyes forever, even if it meant that Lewin hated him for it. Pete regrets not hitting this guy on his irritatingly smug face back in high school. His cheeks that are always flushed red, that little mole on his nose that is the first thing he notices when he looks at him, those disgustingly pouted lips that definitely belong on a woman. All of it annoys the hell out of Pete. It doesn't help that this guy is now in his friend group and he's always exceptionally kind towards him. Pete decides to make sure Kao is excluded from the friend group, just so that he doesn't have to look at his face day in and day out. On one fateful night though, everything changes. Pete accidentally kisses Kao, and now there is always a funny feeling in his stomach whenever he looks at Kao. Pete seeks the company of other women, but all he can see is Kao's luscious lips that felt so soft when he kissed him that night. Pete's attempts to get rid of Kao fail time and time again, and it doesn't help that there is this bastard guy who Kao calls Pisan that keeps hounding Kao. His intentions are pretty clear, but he doesn't know that Kao only belongs to Pete. Pete bullies Kao to an extent that Kao no longer feels a part of the friend group and starts going out with Pisan. That's what breaks the camel's back, and Pete can no longer pretend to hate Kao. He confesses to Kao one night and makes him his. Segasaki has always tried his hardest to contain his obsession for Yo safely inside him, always maintaining a nonchalant attitude. Segasaki makes sure that his crazy, insane, and overwhelming passion for Yo is never shown on the outside. But when Yo is not at home waiting for him, Segasaki becomes engulfed by anxiety and dread at the mere thought of Yo's leaving. He's filled with an irrational fear of losing Yo, driving him to desperate measures to keep them close. Segasaki's obsession may cloud his judgment at times, but his intentions are always rooted in a desire to protect and cherish the object of his affection. A simple smile on Yo's face or just him saying welcome home at the end of the day can make or break Segasaki's mood for the entire day. He lives and breathes for Yo. His possessiveness stems from a fear of abandonment rooted in past experiences that left him scarred and emotionally vulnerable. Hira has always known that he is different from other people. In a sea of bustling conversations and vibrant personalities, Hira remains a solitary figure, preferring the solace of his own thoughts over the clamor of social interaction. In the midst of his solitary existence, he finds himself inexplicably drawn to the magnetic aura of the most popular guy in school, Kyoi. Kioi orders him around, mocks him and ridicules him. But each taunt, each jibe only fuels the fire of Hira's infatuation, casting the object of his affection in an even more dazzling light. Hira obsesses over Kioi day and night, longing to be punished and ridiculed by him. He finds perverse pleasure in the attention, relishing every cruel word as if it were a testament to his devotion. To him, Kioi is not just a tormentor, but a deity, worthy of adoration and worship. After losing his mother at a young age, Youngjae became quiet and aloof, until one day his father remarried and brought his stepbrother Shingxi into his life. Shingxi is, although only a few years older than him, became his guardian and protector, filling the void left by his mother. Under Shingxi's gentle love and care, Youngjae started opening up, and before he knew or understood, he started falling in love with Shingxi. But Shingxi only thought of Youngjae as his little brother. As time passed, Youngjae's feelings for Shingxi evolved into something all-consuming and intense, bordering into obsession. His obsession manifested in possessive behaviors, jealousy flaring at the slightest hint of attention from others towards Shingxi. Youngjae's thoughts were consumed by fantasies of being the sole focus of Shingxi's affection, unable to bear the thought of anyone else encroaching on what he perceived as his territory. Despite Shingxi's attempts to maintain healthy boundaries, Youngjae's obsession only grew stronger, his actions becoming increasingly erratic and desperate in his quest to keep Shingxi by his side. And one day, Youngjae crosses his boundaries, claiming Shingxi and putting his mark on him. Upset about his single dad marrying a gold digger, Woobi moves out of his parental home and changes his school so that his dad cannot contact him or keep him under his control. At his new school, Woobi encounters a cold, aloof, and genius student Suyu who irks him with his arrogant and cocky demeanor. Their initial interactions were fraught with tension as Suyu's cool demeanor clashed with Woobi's fiery personality. But as Woobi spent more time with Suyu, he came to realize that Suyu and him had more in common than he initially thought. They both grew up without a mother. They both care too deeply about people in their life but are not able to show it. They are both protective about the people they love. As Woobi got to know Suyu better, he fell more and more in love with him. Prapai is a young heir to his father's property business. Hardworking and smart, Prapai excels at what he does, and his motto in life is work hard and play hard. So outside work, Prapai indulges in extracurricular activities like underground racing and having one-night stands. On one fateful night, Pai comes across a beautiful young man called Sky who stood timidly on the side of the racetracks, exuding an air of vulnerability. Pai approaches him, hoping to score with his charming smile and impossible good looks. But to Pai's surprise, Sky agrees to sleep with him almost immediately, as if surrendering himself to him. Initially perplexed by Sky, Pai spends a fantastic night with him. Weeks go by, but Pai can't forget that shy, alluring face that submitted himself to him that night. Pai decides to pursue Sky, but due to a terrible and abusive relationship in the past, Sky refuses to go out with Pai. But Pai is obsessed, refusing to take no for an answer. Pai decides to do everything in his power to make Sky fall for him. He tries hard to make Sky believe that he's not like the other guys who would take advantage of him. He genuinely cares for Sky and will always be there for him no matter what. Tae has always been interested in girls, especially his classmate Tan, who is beautiful, talented, and seems like a good match for ambitious Tae. One fine day, Tae's estranged best friend OU comes back into his life, bringing with him a storm of wild emotions that confuse Tae and make him question his sexuality. Tae encourages OU to pursue his crush Bass, but feels incredibly envious of Bass and cannot stand the fact that OU is fawning over someone else other than him. OU's smile, the coconutty smell coming from his hair, His lips that quiver when Tae looks into his eyes completely and utterly enchant Tae, and he can't get enough of him. Tae's life is consumed by thoughts of OU, but he keeps trying to push them away and pretending that him and OU are just friends, hurting not just himself, but OU and Tan too. After being betrayed by Jintang in his previous life, Sho Yi-chen vows to never fall for Jintang ever again, and so he tries hard to contain his crush for Jintang in his second life. However, Jintang's sharp eyes see through the mask of indifference that Yi-chen wears, and Jintang knows that by hook or crook he will be able to win Yi-chen's heart once again and make him his. Jintang's love for Yi-chen borders on obsession, and even though Shao Yi-chen tries his best to escape Jintang's love in his second life, he cannot get away because of Jintang's insane crazy love for him. Jintang even pretends to have memory loss after he got into an accident so that Yi-chen shows pity on him and takes him back into his life. Jintang's wicked plan works and Yi-chen ends up falling in love all over again. So these were 9 of my favorite obsessive tops in BLs. Tell me your favorites in the comments below. See you guys soon. Bye.